there everyone, my name is Rina Hicks and welcome to Oak Special Fund. We are so excited to be back. We've been away working in the background, making sure everything is working really well. And we're excited to come and share with you our performance. In fact, it's part of our promise and our commitment to be transparent. And so we're here to talk about our fact sheet for Q1 2025, the first quarter, January, February, and March, and how we have performed. But before we get into the detail of that, I want to invite Ian, who some of you already know, but if you don't know him, I'll ask him to introduce himself, and then we'll get into the fact sheet. Ian, introduce yourself and tell them who you are.
Thank you, Rina. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be back. For those who don't know me, I'm Ian Kahangara, the Global Markets Director and also CIO for what we call the Oak Special Funds Umbrella Scheme. Today we'll be discussing about Oak Special Fund, a fund that we started last year in February. At least by December we closed the first year, and we are excited how we closed the first year, but second year is a waterfall. The love that you have seen, the trust that you have seen, the support that you've seen from all of you is overwhelming, and we are grateful. And with all more power comes more responsibilities. We are ready to take responsibility of all the funds that you've given to us, and we are excited to give you the performance that we have had for the first 3 months. Thank you.
Such a great place to start. Such a great place to start, because it's so true. Without all these amazing customers, we would not be here. And it's actually quite humbling just where we are. I think, anyway, we'll be getting to that in terms of our performance and how trusted people have, how much trust people have had for us. Yes. But before we go that, why is it called a fact sheet? What is it? Why fact sheet? What is a fact sheet?
For those who are joining us for the first time, there are people who have walked this journey from last year when we started doing the social media campaign to ensure that everyone is aware and financially literate on how funds run. We are going to break it down as we usually do about what is a fact sheet, what is contained in a fact sheet, so that anytime we disseminate such kind of information, whether from our company or any other person who shares such a document, we are able to understand it in a concise way. A fact sheet is a summarized document that gives the specifics for a financial product. It's common with majority of the funds, where funds is what we call pooled funds that have been managed by someone we call a fund manager, who places the funds into various investments for a return. And for them, they charge what we call a management fee. So I'll be taking through the fact sheet that we have, the latest one being for March 2025, and you can see what is contained there.
It is so important that you take time to read fact sheets. Whether you have a money market fund, a fixed income fund, a special fund, wherever you have invested your money, whether it's a global fund, a mutual fund from India or China or wherever it is, because the document gives you details about who is investing your money, what are the objectives, what is the risk that is being taken, what is the performance they have done since they've been in existence, and it's so important for you to understand it. So our effort, as Ian has said today and in the future, is to just continue to help you understand, so that when you pick it up, you know exactly when we say absolute return, when we talk about derivatives, when we talk about asset allocation, what exactly we mean. So we'll get started. And the first section we're going to go into is, perhaps maybe before I go into the actual performance, is talk about the fund itself. Oak Special Fund is a fund that we began that pools money, gets money from different investors, retail investors, institutional investors, SACCOs, corporates, everybody is welcome. And we pool all this money and we invest it. The reason it's called a special fund is because it's a category within the collective investment schemes regulation in Kenya that are called special funds, because they invest in different financial assets locally and abroad. So all multi-asset funds in this country are called special funds, and that's why it's called Oak Special Fund. So Ian, in terms of returns, let's start there. A lot of people are like, you've written you target 20. Is it guaranteed? Do you guarantee 20%? So maybe let's begin there, because we need to bust that myth. Yes. Because do we guarantee 20%?
We definitely do not guarantee 20%, because if we could guarantee 20%, I believe the flood will be more. That is one. Two, Two, majority of people will just liquidate their fixed assets and bring here for a guaranteed 20%. That's what would happen, unless we are in a very high inflationary period whereby rates are at, let's say, 30%, like we had, I think, some years, like 12 years, 13 years ago. So we do not guarantee the return. However, this is our targeted return. So we are working day and night to try and reach that. If we get above that, like last year, we'll be very happy. If we get maybe approaching, it's still okay, depending on the prevailing market conditions. As you have seen right now, we saw interest rates really drop. They started dropping from around October last year. And you can look at maybe the central bank website or even the newspapers, where treasury bonds have come down to levels from 16 to around 10 for the 1-year T-bills. And the others, the 91-day T-bill, which is 3-month T-bill, going down to levels of 8%. So the environment keeps on changing. So as much as we are targeting, we are trying to work with the various, the environment as it is, both local and global. Thank you.
We've received a lot of questions about the different things that are going on in the world. The trade tariffs, the macroeconomic challenges that are going on in the Middle East and with Ukraine and Russia, and just the changes economically around the globe. And we will do a separate video to address that, because even as we talk about target returns, the question people have had is, with everything going on, how is that affecting your performance? We'll look at that as a separate video. But for now, let's go into our returns and how did we do. So Q1, our absolute return for the quarter, for the 3 months, was 4.66%. And that return, when you annualize it, works out to about 18.64%. So let me just stay there for a moment, and I want Ian to come in and sort of just break down, when you say absolute return, what does that mean versus annualized return?